Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Dojinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the series that has had its ups and downs, its breaks and starts, and several different ways in between. A day here, a month there, a week there, 2 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it takes me to feel like I can get back into the swing of things. Now, on one hand, I would think to myself, it's okay. It's a small channel. I can leave at any moment I feel. On the other hand, you guys continuously grow no matter where I am. I have started a second channel a long time ago that I posted very rarely on, and then I decided to go back to posting on that channel by doing small snippets of voiceover content. That was a strange idea on my end, but I am proud of my voice and decided to actually start doing it in reading forms. That also being said, you guys kept showing up, kept subscribing. One or two people at a time would unsubscribe, and then they would come back, usually more than when they left. I'm talking one here, three back, two there, five back, all the way until I am well over 300 subscribers, which I did have a whole bunch of different things I wanted to do for that 300 subscriber special. Long have they been out of my mind because there has been a lot going on, and I in general did not have the drive to make these videos anymore. It's not that I'm done necessarily. It is that, one thing, I am very openly gay, and there's just not much that I can do on a critique level for most hentai. It's not that it's bad in any way, shape, or form. It's that if you don't necessarily enjoy what you're doing, then to not do it seems healthy. But then again, this was a fun endeavor that I started, and now I don't know what to do with the success that I've gotten. The success. 320 people is more people than I've ever met in my life that I can consistently call my friends. Holy shit. That also being said, I have had several other endeavors that I've wanted to continue on with. There were things here and there that I wanted to try. Now that I have more subscribers, I thought I could branch out into doing a little bit more things here and there. But I just couldn't figure out how to properly go along with it. That also being said, I kinda don't look at hentai all that much anymore. I get on the website that I use to do my research for the videos, but it's mostly just to see if there's anything interesting that's popped up, and there have been one or two things here and there that are actual shows. Those that have been put onto there. Think of your interspecies reviewers, your redo of a healers, and now a newer one that I am unfamiliar with, mostly because I'm not really in the anime circle anymore. But that one was interesting on their part. There is a lot of ecchi and nudity in it from the chest up, which I feel like is a little bit of a cop out. I've seen Devilman Crybaby. I know you can show off a dude's dick in anime. Stop being fucking babies about it. I am a dude and I want to see representation. Give me that ass. That also being said, that's mostly all I do. If I ever do look for anything that I can actually look on with a critical idea for NSFW related content, it is specifically by going to a separate website that I actually talked about way early on in my career doing this, is a website called Luscious, which it has a lot of comics and art galleries that are made by different people, and some of them are, shameless repostings from people who have official websites. Those official websites, I feel like, are being taken from. But then again, most people don't read manga on official websites anyway, so on one hand, spreading the word of the creator and actually supporting the creator are two different hands, and one of them is free, and unfortunately, I don't make a ton of money. So, on one hand, I am invested in these stories that have been going along for a long time. I think I've been following them longer than I've been on here. And then there are also series that I have just started that I find have interesting ideas. Like there is an artist by the name of Rapscallion, or at least that's how it's been presented. I don't know if that's the original intent of the author or illustrator themselves, but they have an interesting art style that has a very exaggerated proportions to them. You know, men have bigger things downstairs. Usually everybody has wider hips. If they're muscular, then they're not overly toned, but if they have upper and lower portions, they're very voluptuous in multiple different ways. Let's just say it's not feasible for them to exist like that. But the dialogue and the art are surprisingly good. The dialogue, specifically in a lot of these things, is meant for a kind of pseudo realistic conversation between people who have a nihilistic view towards what they're doing. An example is a guy and a girl in their mid 30s to like early 40s who are working a dead end job, and it's only about 8 to 12 pages, I believe. I haven't seen it in a little bit, where they're just like going at it and having sex one way as they move along, and then they keep switching positions, and the whole time they're talking about like how they're filming it to post it on an OnlyFans, and that OnlyFans is then like thought of and gone through, and they have such a busy schedule and they work a lot of different hours that they really don't have a lot of time to intermingle and actually film the damn thing, which then leads into the main characters doing as they please, or not as they please, more like they're doing what they can to film, but when you're in the shower filming sex, trying to think of tags and lines that you could use to be able to like get viewers in, they realize there's such a filled market that there's really not anything to do with such a thing. So they end up filming each other while they're taking a shower, getting ready for work. They go at it, and then their phone breaks, and then there's kind of this like understood that this would fail dialogue, but also like keep pushing forward. We can still make this work. You know, the dwindling budget on a movie scene sort of thing, where they're like, we can still work with this. Come on, let's go, let's go. Oh. And there's a genuineness to it that the actual art comes in at a very well drawn but detailed sort of cartoonism. It's not necessarily the most detailed thing in the world, but it's also solid in the way that in the quality of the drawing and the actual like physical shaping of it. I'm by no means an art critic, and I am by no means an artist on my own right. I can barely draw the characters I wanted to play in D&D but never got to. That being said, I do have a lot of appreciation when a lot of what I do is focused on people who are animating things in art. That's why I'm trying to be harder on the things that I do review, because I'm trying to be less pleasing on the artists themselves. I know creating these things is not an easy process. That being said, there's a reason why Asylum movies are still pandered for them being shitty movies altogether, when the thing that they're ripping off is leagues better regardless of what they're taking on. You can say what you want about how they parody certain things here and there, but they're also better in quality, specifically because of how much money has gone into the effects themselves, where Asylum has never really done that. They work with the bare bones, and they sometimes don't even do that. But I'm trying to be meaner, or at least harder, on the critiquing of these things. I know it takes a long time to make them, but then again, if you're Queen Bee and you've been making series that have no real business with the quality that they do have, it falters along that edge. Not necessarily that what they didn't take a lot of skill, but animation can look bad no matter how hard you work on it, and it shows that they clearly did not work that hard on it. Moving like appendages can only be pushed a certain amount of times in a loop before it's not fun, and it's not even sexy to begin with. So if I do get back into it, expect me to be a little bit meaner, but also expect less hentai and more broad spectrums. That's why I like doing the Derpixian video, because it wasn't necessarily my best performing video. It's a really good video. I was proud of it. But it's also a video that dipped out of hentai and just into the pornographic scene itself, whether that be animated here or there. So then that brings me to, what do I do? Do I go to things that I genuinely enjoy with how they can, like, with how the medium is presented itself, or do I stick to the idea of hentai and then push along like that? There have been some comics that I've had to do. There have been some like actual dojins that I've done, which I did find enjoyable, but at a certain point, it was just overwhelming with the amount of stuff that I was given that I had to erase my board that I have behind me that I had all my things on itself, because I just had too much filling it up. And it just kept going, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it at that point. And I know this is bitching and moaning from a dude who's just here to like entertain, which I do want to do. I do want to entertain people. I don't want to be what I am now. I want to get better, bigger, faster, everything. But I don't know how to do that. So to anybody who's watching this, listening, cares, or in general is out there, there's longtime viewers who have been here from the start, people who joined in the middle and have ridden along through the ups and downs. I have nothing but respect for you. I have nothing but genuine love and care for you. And I want to get into this, but motivation is a bitch. Motivation sucks. It's hard to get, especially when you don't have a lot of time. I have a pile of miniatures that's actually right behind the camera over there, a lot of which is unpainted and most of which is unassembled in a box over there. And I just don't have the motivation to do it. I want the motivation, but I'm trying. I know this can all be done by me just saying, fuck it, and then making another hentai review. It's not that hard. I can do it. It'll take me 2 hours. Maybe. But I want to make something good. I'm not going to half-ass it like I did in the very beginning where it was one review a day and then I just kept moving on and then it burnt myself out to where it was once every week, once every 3 days, once every this, once every that. I need to get a consistent schedule. I need to film one day, edit the next, and review and actually do the reviews themselves on a day set. 3 days of the week. It's not that hard. I can do it. It'll take up no time. All I have to do is not sit down and just binge YouTube 90% of the time. You have any idea how many hours of Game Grumps compilations I've gotten through for no reason? They're funny, I get it. I've seen the same joke 80 times because every compilation has the same 5 videos in it. I am aware. I need to get off my ass and actually make this shit. It's not a lot, but I need to fucking do it. And I am. After this, I'm going to go to my second channel, and I'm going to post the next video that I've had in mind, which has been a constant switch up between me reading meme posts and copy pastas and stories from Aesop's Fable and or just general literature I have from small books that are copyright free that I find cool. I'm going to film one of those, I'm going to get it moving, and then I'm going to get off my fucking ass and I'm going to make a goddamn video. It's 1 a.m. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow so I can get tested for COVID, which I'm currently leaking out a lot of shit right now. And if I'm going to be stuck at home, then I'm going to fucking make something. Thank you. This is probably the second time. This is the second time you've seen my face, and I want you to know that this is what I look like when I'm angry and I'm motivated and I'm fucking ready. Thank you. I apologize if the audio quality is bad. New setup, new system. I suck, and I plan on changing that. Thank you. Let's get this shit rolling. Have a nice day. Don't be a dick. Wash your hands. I'm going to start moving right fucking now.